Why, hello there, old sports, and I have something to rant about. In a recent-ish video I made where I beat Silksong by only using the parry skill, I made a joke in the beginning about how I thought Sharp Dart was the worst skill, and I was almost immediately corrected by people much more logical and smarter than me that no, Sharp Dart is in fact not the worst, and that title actually goes to Rune Rage, and I guess I just completely forgot about Rune Rage because I never used it. Just as Cross Stitch is unlocked by defeating Phantom in the Exhaust Organ, the Rune Rage Silk skill is unlocked by beating First Sinner in the Slab. First Sinner happens to be like one of the best 3 fights in the whole game, so you'd assume the reward for defeating her would be worth it. But then again, technically the fight is worth it alone, but you feel like the devs would be like, let's give whatever reward you get, let's give that some value. Ladies, gentlemen, and everything in betweens, I am very much convinced the skill has to be bugged. There's no way it isn't bugged, because I've tried things with this skill, and it just doesn't work sometimes. The wiki, I'm looking at the wiki right now, it says, Hornet charges up and releases an array of 9 runes semi-randomly around herself that explode after a brief moment. I've used this skill before, and had it spawn 0 runes. I am not kidding, I will put footage up on screen. Funny story. After I completed that parry-only run, I thought, okay, well since everyone says Rune Rage is the worst skill, I'll try doing the full game with that. And I just couldn't do it, man. Like, I tried, and it just didn't work. The skill would just stop working after a while. It just stopped spawning runes. I don't know why. It just stopped spawning runes, and it kind of is hard to beat things with that if the skill doesn't work. And I know it wasn't my fault, because the only thing I changed to I just gave myself the skill at the beginning of the run, and I gave myself the 3 Silk Hearts right off the bat so I could use the skill. I didn't edit anything in the game, I didn't edit the code, I didn't mod anything, I had all my mods turned off, and for some reason Rune Rage just didn't work. It just stopped working after a bit, and I don't know why this happens. I tried defeating Lace with it, and the same thing happened to her too, so it wasn't just the one arena I was in that was causing that to not work. Everything was just breaking. I don't know what's wrong with the skill. Again, like, I understand if the skill isn't the best, and I understand they wanted to make the skill kind of like the boss fight, but I feel like maybe they should make it more like the boss fight to where it's spread out a bit more, and it isn't just completely random. I don't know. And the worst part is that the runes do knockback. They knock the enemies back, and the problem with that is that they get knocked out of the runes. Oh my god, it's so dumb. And then also, there's a really dumb damage equation where every rune does like half the damage of the last one, or it does like less and less damage each time. So by the time like, I can't even explain it. It's so stupid. Eventually, you need to do like 3 or 4 runes, or 3 or 4 runes need to hit to make up the damage of like the first rune you cast, or the first rune that explodes. It's just so dumb. Why is this skill so bad, Team Cherry? Please, just buff it. You buffed Beast Crest to pierce shields, and you made the Beast Crest even better than it already was at combat. I don't know why you did that, because like literally the only thing that Crest is ever bad at is exploration because of the stupid pogo. But you're like, no, we'll make it better at shredding bosses and enemies. No, buff Rune Rage, please, I'm begging you. And I understand if the skill was bad because it was perfectly mimicking the skill that First Sinner uses, but I feel like it would be better if the skill had more like screen coverage, and because sometimes it bunches up in one area, and like I said, the knockback causes the enemies to get knocked out of the runes, so most of them miss. I feel like it would make more sense if the skill did less damage, but was just like more, like it had like a more consistent, wider range. I feel like that'd be more reasonable, because we already have plenty of skills that do good single target damage, like maybe doing one that is better at like chipping away at like a lot of smaller enemies. Maybe that'd be a good idea. I don't know, I'm not a game designer yet. I just want this skill to be decent, please, Team Cherry. Because going over every other Silk skill, they all have a purpose. Silk Spear is supposed to be just a longer range, stronger strike, a pretty basic Silk skill. Threadstorm is supposed to be a shorter range, but more AoE based skill. Cross Stitch is a parry. Sharp Dart is kind of janky, but its main draw is the invincibility frames. The Pale Nails will home in on enemies to some degree. Rune Rage has nothing, it's just bad. The damage is bad, the range is wonky at best, it knocks enemies away from it, and sometimes the runes just don't spawn, so that's wonderful. The description of the skill calls it a forgotten weaver technique. Yeah, I can see why no one bothered to remember it. This skill sucks. And the thing I find funniest about this skill is that the Rune Rage attack that First Sinner uses is obviously based on the Pure Vessel's like focus attack, where after it focuses, it summons a bunch of those like balls of light that explode. And the funny thing is, in the Pale Court mod, someone made a charm called Vessel's Lament that sort of does something similar, or it at least pulls from that attack on a conceptual level. Whenever you hit something, they become marked, and then whenever you heal or hit them again after a certain time, or I forget exactly how it works, the rune on them will explode doing damage, and it actually does decent damage. So I feel like if they wanted to, they could make the skill work differently, or they could just, I don't know, there's like maybe have it like the runes spawn in the general, like just spawn like a couple runes like closer to Hornet, or have a bunch of runes spawn on like focused on an enemy's general location. I feel like it wouldn't be that hard to make this skill good. It's just bad. It's too random, it's too inconsistent, and while I was trying to record a video where I tried to do it with, or try to beat the game without, with only using Rune Rage, apparently the skill is just broken, or I just have terrible luck. I don't know, both could be possible, but the fact that it is even possible in the game right now is kind of depressing, because again, I want to like this skill, because, I don't know, First Sinner's cool, I wanna use a skill that's good. Now, I understand every Silk skill can't be the best, and honestly, they all shouldn't be the best, but I feel like there's at least a baseline that they should all meet, and Rune Rage does not meet them, because I feel like right now people just default to Threadstorm, and then occasionally use other skills for different things, but that's good. But no one ever defaults to Rune Rage for anything, or uses Rune Rage for anything, because at least, like I said, Sharp Dart has the invincibility frames, the parry is a parry, but Rune Rage just has nothing. It's just sad and pathetic and alone. I guess the thing that really bothers me about this skill is that it's just so inconsistent. I guess if every rune hit, which I'm pretty sure is impossible for that to happen, it would do more than any other skill, but you're never even going to hit half of them. You're going to be lucky if even 3 of them land. I just wish the skill was a lot more consistent, or just made up with better damage. It's just like, everything about it sucks. There's no redeeming qualities to it. Anyways, I guess that's all I have to say about Rune Rage. I feel weird plugging my Patreon here, because this is supposed to be more of a rant video, but I want to thank my Patreon supporters, so I feel like that involves me indirectly plugging my Patreon, I guess. So I'd like to thank Skill Issue, Sven Biscuit, and Iconic Cat for being Patreon supporters. It means the world to me. Thank you all so much. If you have any Silksong video ideas you'd like me to try out, put them in the comments below, and I'll think about it at least, so take solace in that, I guess. If you liked this video, like and subscribe, I guess, comment, like I said, I like reading comments, and have a good day. Bye-bye.